Wanna say goodbye, yeah. Want your skin on my skin. Just one last time. If I can't have you, babe, I don't want nobody else in my life. So darling, please pull me closer. This is the last time it could count now, baby. Yeah, darling, please pull me closer. It's not over until it's over. I know we get it all we got, yeah, we try. Side by side, but I get it. Sometimes love's just not enough when you try. Side by side, but things don't get better. You get bitter. Wanna say goodbye, yeah. Lay your head on my chest, just one last time. If I can't have you, babe, I don't want nobody else around. So darling, please pull me closer. If this is the last time it could count now, baby. Yeah, darling, please pull me closer. It's not over until it's over. I know we get it all we got, yeah, we try. Side by side, but I get it. Sometimes love's just not enough when you try. Side by side, but things don't.
Welcome to Free Live Tarot Readings. I'm TarotOracle and I do the readings.
It's 6:30. Time for the Tarot Oracle.
Welcome, everybody. What's going on? We got GK. Thank you for your donation. Journey, thank you for yours. Apollo, welcome. And YouTube user, thank you for your donation as well. We owe Weather Station a reading from yesterday. We had to go. All things must end eventually, and we had to go on that particular note. So, Weather Station, we owe you a reading. Let's get that done right now. Weather Station wants to know if it's going to rain or not. No, probably not. No, I think they know if it's going to rain. They're Weather Station. Andrew, welcome. What's going on? Tarot Reader, how you doing? Good to see you. And they want to know, how have I evolved? And how can I evolve next? Good questions. Good questions. Always a good question with that. So let's see what's going on with all of that. Bartman, where's my donation? No clue, Bartman. Where's your donation? I don't see it. I don't see it, Bartman. Did you do over to PayPal? I got Oscar on PayPal. Thank you, Oscar. I appreciate your PayPal donation. I don't see Bartman. Maybe it didn't go through. Maybe it didn't go through. I don't know. All right, how have I evolved and how can I evolve next? You're really sort of looking at the Justice card here, right? I think there's a lot of pursuits that you have been in that have moved you to the next level of evolution as far as that goes. Some things that you are working on, you're sort of really focused on. And I think that's what you're good at, is focusing on one thing in particular, conquering it, making sure that you get through it and not really playing with it at all, right? So you're not a person that just plays around. You're going to get something, you're going to see the goal, you're going to get the end goal, you're going to make it happen. And YouTube user, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Michelle, what's going on? Good to see you. But it just feels like that's something that you do to get that justice, to get things moving, to get things worked out, and what have you. 8 of Coins as well. You're not afraid of a hard work. You're not afraid of getting the diligence in there, making things happen for the better and improving yourself. I think that's something that you're good at as well. So that's going to be one good thing here, right? Because a lot of people want to evolve. They have these great ideas and all this aspirations and things, but they never really just get out there and hit the ground running. I think you're the one that does do that, though. You get out there, you make the work happen. 8 of Coins, you're not afraid to put a little hard work with that. Page of Swords just says, as far as evolution in the future, right? How can you evolve next? Your communication really needs work. Just what can we do for communication? How can we get our ideas across better? How can we influence people better? How can we sort of move into that realm to where we're good with influence, we're good with kind of, talking to people, we're good with communication, letting things be known, and as well as sort of being an open ear to somebody else's needs and desires and whatnot, because a lot of people just love to talk about themselves, and that really sort of brings you into their friend zone. If, they're able to talk to you, you're easy to talk to, you understand, you don't judge and what have you. I think that's sort of the evolution part that you're going to have on the next thing there. There we go. All right, let's go to the next question. We got YouTube user, I believe is next. No, GK is next. What are S's for me right now? Let's use the Insomnia Tarot as well. The Insomnia Tarot. I have been sleeping like a log. I do not have any insomnia whatsoever. So let's look at the Insomnia Tarot. And I think some people do have that issue though, right? You just can't get to sleep and what have you. If I could sleep 14 hours a day, I would sleep 14 hours a day. I can tell you that now. Guaranteed I would sleep 14 hours a day. But yeah, anyway, it's been a minute since we used the Insomnia Tarot. We paid a lot of damn money for this thing. So we need to get it done. We need to get it done. This needs to be on the table more often because we paid a good $70 freaking for this thing. So, I get some insomnia for that, paying $70 for this. Anyway, what are S's for me right now? 5 of Wands is interesting. A little bit of the 3 of Swords and an 8 of Swords reversed. It feels like the feelings for you are just sort of at this point on autopilot. It doesn't really feel like there's any goals or any sort of particular thing they're looking for or any particular thing that they're sort of waiting for as far as that goes, right? You just have sort of this 3 of Swords. A little bit maybe on the upset side, kind of, but the restrictions have been removed here, which is also a good thing. So a little bit on the upset side from something, maybe something in the past, maybe something going on in their personal life. 3 of Swords is kind of a heartbreak card, especially sort of next to a 5 of Wands, right? Maybe this is something internally they're trying to work through. They're trying to get to the next stage. Maybe it's something they're trying to just sort of see where it goes. A lot of times we have difficulty. We want to just kind of ride it out, see where it goes, see what kind of things we can do about it, what have you. They could be on that journey as well. And the 8 of Swords, a lot of the restrictions that they've had have been removed. They don't really have a lot of sort of inhibitions right now as far as feelings go. So I do think they're a little bit on the upset side. They have a lot of internal things going on. I think they have some pretty good feelings, but the 8 of Swords being reversed says it's sort of a dynamic situation where they're just going to do what they need to do at the moment and not really make any big plans or not really be held back by anything as it goes. Be random with me. Good to see you. We got Sandy and Tracy. Welcome. Good to see y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. All right, we got Journey is next. Journey wants to know something. They were saying, when will I get my business deal? It's with all business deals. You need to get the business deal by going to the Tarot Tower. Let's see if I get the Tarot Tower to work today, if it's going to reset. No, it's not going to work. I have to reset it every time. I have to change it to the other camera input. Now let's go. There we go. Tarot Tower over here. As with all business journeys are made better by a Tarot Tower being available, and we have the Waterfall Tarot. If you don't have this one, it is on sale. It is on sale right now. I'm just saying. That is it, right? That is what's going on here. So, if you want one of these hand-painted tarot decks, we got a jumper over here. Wow, a little bit of an 8 of Wands activity over there. Business deals coming a little bit sooner than you had expected, for sure. All right, 8 of Wands is always a good card to have as a first indicator. It means things are a little bit expedited. Things are moving faster than what you may have expected, or a lot of times what you may have wanted, right? A lot of times we have these ideals. We're like, yes, I want to do this and I want to do that. And then we're like, well, I don't really want to do it right now. I want to sort of relax a little bit. I want to examine it from afar a little more. And then when I'm ready, then I'll pounce on it. But the reality is maybe you should get started a little bit early, right? Reiki, welcome. What's going on? Good to see you. All right. But yeah, let's sort of look at this. Again, 8 of Wands. Will I get the business deal? Really think that's heading towards you pretty quickly as far as getting this deal. Stars is kind of a yes. We do have sort of a nice little thumbs up opportunity with the star, right? The business deal is something that you've been working on. It's something that you know eventually you sort of will get there. It may be a matter of tweaking it here or there in order to get it hammered out the way it needs to be. But I think the business deal is going to be open and a good opportunity for you by far. 7 of Cups is good as well. The business deal has many layers like an onion. As we peel it, there's more layers. There's more layers. There's more things that are kind of there, right? Bartman, I thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. But yeah, the 7 of Cups, so there's a lot of layers in this business deal. Maybe there's a partnership involved. Maybe there's some sort of expenses involved before we can get fully rocking with it. Maybe there's some level of financing difficulty we have, right? Interest rates are up a little bit. Maybe we have to get a little more, pay a little more for a loan or for something as we're going into the business deal, right? Lani, welcome. Good to see you as well. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day, everybody. Hopefully everybody's had their share of humping today. It is time, though, for some tarot. But yeah, the star says it's coming. I do think you get the business deal. Pretty easy thumbs up with that. 7 of Cups, so there's levels of complexity to it. Well, what does that mean for us, right? If I'm running into a business deal, I want all the facts. I don't want to run up there and wing it. I want all the facts. I want all the details. I want as much as I can get. Even if it's a little bit too much at first, I'd rather have more than less when it comes to a 7 of Cups kind of attitude as we go into the business deal. Because if there are a lot of things to juggle, if there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of choices that need to be made, I really need to be in contact and have enough information about that where I don't get screwed, right? Misrak, welcome, and thank you for your donation. 2 of Swords says, be careful who we partner with this business journey. I do think you have a freeloader, somebody who is going to sort of be there. They're going to be like, yeah, this is cool. Let me be a part of it. And they don't do much. Be careful of who you connect with. Could be somebody that has a connection with the business deal. Seems like a good idea to sort of ride them along. And then all of a sudden they just sort of disrupt everything because they have different ideals of what to do, right? You know what I'm saying? Like creating a tarot deck. Maybe they have a completely different tarot deck in mind, and you rope them in. You're like, yes, this person's going to help me out. And all of a sudden, you're just fighting with them all the time. Ain't nobody like that. Nobody like that. Let's go to PayPal. Everybody likes a PayPal. We got some PayPal activity over here with the Oscar. Oscar wants to know, all right, will A and I see and speak? All right, will A and I, what is it this? See and speak. All right, well, A and I see and speak, right? In November. Let's see if that's going to be a possibility here. Maybe. I really kind of think, yes, we're going maybe with a little bit of love balloons over here. We can do that. It's never too early for the love balloons. Never too early for the love balloons. But yeah, Oscar, I'm really thinking yes. Just like the first thing out of the box, right? See and speak to each other. Queen of Cups. Wow, the emotional resonance here. The water of water. There's a lot of built up emotions, a lot of pent up emotions that needs to be released here, that needs to be expressed. And if we really don't have them available, if they're not around, we can't express it the way that we need to here. I mean, that's pretty simple, right? The devil, though, man, once we get speaking, once we get started, it's magical at first, and then it kind of goes sour a little bit. That devil card. The devil card you kind of have to take into sort of consideration, especially next to the moon, right? You do have a couple of big emotion cards, a couple of big sort of water cards in here. I mean, this is important to you. If A and I speak, everything will be okay. It's very important. But the reality is sometimes that we sort of have this ideal, beautiful, beautiful rainbow kind of ideal about what we're going to talk about and how things are going to go. But then real life exercises its priority over you, right? With a little bit of the devil. So maybe there is some of the issues come back up. Maybe we do have some difficulties in here as we're speaking. Maybe a little bit of argument, maybe a little bit of a disconnect, what have you. But the devil does sneak in here between these two water cards. So just be aware of that, right? Nice emotional thing. Just sort of tamper your expectations a little bit. What's going to be important here? What are my goals that I'm going to accomplish with this? Where is this going to lead me and take me? What have you? Lani, thank you for your very generous donation. I greatly appreciate you. But But yeah, I think sort of, just be careful, right? Be careful. Don't let the dreams and ideals shuffle around in your head and create a false reality for you before you get in there. All right, YouTube users breaking up over here with A over there. Are we over for good? Oh, no. All right, are we over for good? Oh, man, it may be. YouTube user, it may be. It may be. All right, YouTube user sounds like they got a big Vegas vacation planned as well. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. At least we always hope so, you know what I'm saying? But there are cell phone videos, so what happens in Vegas may not stay in Vegas. You never know. YouTube user, you got to be careful over there. All right, let's see what's going on. Me&H over for good. 9 of Cups is the ideal situation is still hovering out there, and you really would like to grab it, hang on to it, see where this could go, see what kind of things we can get happening here. You still have high hopes. Bottom line, right? You have that 9 of Cups. I have high hopes. I have a lot of good expectations. I'm kind of excited, not going to lie. And then sort of there's that reality of the 10 of Wands. The more you think of them, the more pain in the butt they are. The more you think, hey, if they call me, I'm just going to start yelling at them. Like, what the hell? Why didn't you call me for like a month? Doesn't make any sense. Feels like people are just ghosting me right and left. It doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. And there's that anxiety and that sort of that pent up energy of like, what is going on with this individual? 10 of Wands. If they do call, what am I going to do? Am I going to yell? I'm going to go, yay, they called. The King of Wands is basically let them do what they want to do. Let them do what they want to do. If they want to exert a fiery aspect over here, be fine with that. Let them do it. But if they don't do anything, you do need to set a sort of a date, right? Sort of, this is my tolerance limit. They haven't contacted me in a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever it needs to be. And then I'm done. And then I'm done. So you do need to set a defined goal, a defined kind of date where this is my tolerance. I'm not going to carry this around and make that happen. But it just looks like y'all may be over for good indeed. You know, you got to kind of let them do their thing, wait it out, and set up a tolerance limit of what you're going to be happy with, because it's all about your happiness. You really don't want somebody else to have a remote control to your happiness, as I always say. We'll end up actually going to Vegas. Man, let's see what's going on with that. If you go to Vegas, visit the M&M store. It is delicious. I remember gaining a good 10 pounds at that M&M store. Good 10 pounds with that. And of course, Vegas got all the magic stuff, you know what I'm saying? We got the magic shops. They had the cheap cards that were left over from the casinos that I got for magic tricks and all of that other stuff. But I mean, let's see what's going on. All right, well, I end up actually going there, though. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I see you going somewhere else that you still have fun. I'm not saying that Vegas is not going to be fun. I'm saying there's other places that you want to be, other places that you want to go, other adventures that you would like to take that are just more fun, and going to be more sort of suitable for what you want to do, right? Tower card says going to Vegas is just sort of really wild at this point, right? You sort of don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on with some of the COVID thing, if they have leftover stuff like that. What are the rules and what have you? It feels like scheduling is kind of difficult. It feels like you get over there and it's just difficult to get everything organized. It's one of the things, right? The tower, I'm trying to rebuild. I'm trying to get this tower up and running, but it just feels like I'm not really having a lot of things going on. 4 of Wands, just find some place that could be a better home. I mean, if you're going to be in that area, maybe just do the Grand Canyon, maybe just do some of the tourism kind of things, do a quick stop in Vegas for a day or something. But I mean, if you're going to be in the area, make sure that you thoroughly investigate all of the fun stuff over there. Ultimately, just save your money. Just save your money. I mean, going to Vegas is fun indeed. It's kind of a light, fun, entertaining kind of thing, but you're just better off saving your pennies, going someplace else on a bigger trip, a bigger substantial thing, maybe a cruise, maybe something like that, where we can sort of just have some real fun and all of that. Take all the girlfriends, go over there and see where it is going to go, what kind of adventures we can get into with that. All right, we got all of that happening with that. And is next, what would Jesus' intentions towards me be if he actually wants to reach out? Let's see what's going on with the Tarot Tower. If we're going to reach out, we're going to reach out over here to the Tarot Tower and get us a nice love deck for this, otherwise known as the Modern Love Tarot. give this a little bit of a shuffle at a minimum. We've used this quite a bit. We've used this too much almost. This is like the go-to deck. This is the go-to deck of how everything should work in life. This is one of those where everything is just functional. Everything is perfect with it. No matter what you do, you set it down, you lay it out. It's got a lot of things to say. Very wordy and verbose deck as well. It doesn't really skimp on the detail. I do think you get some of those decks are just a lot of detail, not a lot of action, not a lot of things going on. It's like, well, that's not exactly something that I want to do. But this one's got a lot to say. Let's see what it has to say to Anne. What would G's intentions towards me if actually wants to reach out? Queen of Pentacles. Really think if they want to get something going on, they want to get something connected, they do want to build a level of stability. So we have some predictability, we have some stability. Maybe we can go do stuff, maybe we can do this and do that, what have you. Nine of Wands says they really don't want to get into a situation where it's just not going to work and be functional, right? It feels like they've had some dysfunctional relationships, they've had some challenges, what have you, and they don't really want to go through that again. They don't want to do all those experiences. So looking for something that's stable, looking for something that's going to be reliable. And I think they're going to sort of be in that mode, right? I'm searching for this. I'm scanning for that. I want this to happen. And I think that's where they are at. Five of Cups says ultimately they could have just a big emotional disconnect from what you want. You have to sort of see where we can meet in the middle between these two forces. Because a lot of times you'll have this ideal, they'll have this ideal, and you're really kind of sort of working against each other here because the ideals are a little bit of a Two of Swords action almost, to where you have, one person this, one person over there, and trying to meet in the middle is almost impossible. So it has to be a level of sort of acceptance, a level of expandability, a level of sort of, being dynamic and seeing where it's going to go. Otherwise, you're going to get into a Five of Cups to where this thing I wanted, this is not exactly what I ended up getting with that. Knight of Pentacles, again, points to the level of stability. We got the Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. They want to find something that's stable. They want to just have somebody there. I can go watch this concert with. I can go and have fun here. Go and do things with. Have some fun conversations or whatnot. It's sort of what they want, right? They want that level of stability, the level of predictability, and just sort of a relaxed connection where I don't have to work really hard on it. I don't have to struggle through the entire thing. I just kind of think that's where their focus is going to be indeed. All right. And that is the Modern Love Tarot right there. Bartman is next. Bartman wants to know with a tarot of dragons indeed. How's my writing so far? What kind of dragons can we get with the writing? Where we see where it's going to go. YouTube user, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right. We got Misrak. We got Lani Rose, YouTube user up in the queue if you want to see what it looks like. We just did Anne. We got Bartman the 7th. We got Misrak, Lani, and Rose up in this queue. All right, let's get this done. Get a little bit of dragons over here. Got a little extra time tonight, so let's do some shuffling, man. I mean, it's rare. We do some overhand shuffle, but occasionally I just want to get a nice riffle in there. Get a lot of randomization, you know what I'm saying? YouTube user, thank you for your other donation. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. N is being too nice. Well, that is a wild reality right there you didn't expect to see. We'll see what's going on there in a minute. All right, Bartman, how's the writing so far? Working on it. We're improving it. We're putting the time, effort into it. Eight of Cups, man. I really think that the writing is kind of upsetting sometimes because you're not sort of generating what you want to generate. I think maybe that is because that you sort of maybe need to sort of take a step back and sort of make an outline, see where this is going to go, sort of work backwards occasionally, see where we're going to be headed, how this is going to end, what kind of things do we have, you know what I'm saying? So I have like the big board up there, a big chalkboard, a big dry erase, and sort of this is the character, this is the components of this character, here's how they interact with these other characters, here's where these characters meet, here's why they meet, sort of get a big outline in there. Eight of Cups says that we've had some great ideas that have been abandoned because we don't have maybe a tight enough outline or because we don't have kind of exactly where we're going to go, what we're going to do with it. So you definitely want to make sure everything's planned out before we start writing. I think the fun part about about writing is the actual writing, and the least fun part is the organization and the management of sort of everything that we're going to be doing. So I think we have to dig in to the management at least a little bit here. A Five of Wands. That is a Five of Wands. Five of Wands says that you have so many good ideas, you're not sure what to pursue, right? I think that's what the thing, right? Anyway, YouTube user, thank you for the other donation. I appreciate you. But yeah, you do have a lot of good ideas, and I think that's really working against you, actually. You have too many good ideas. You're going to have to throw some of these away. You're going to have, because a lot of these are in conflict with each other, right? This character does this, but maybe it's against their character. It's not something the character would normally do, what have you. So you kind of got to figure out, where do I want to go, kind of thing, and don't have any conflicts with that. Maybe too many good ideas. What triage those, right? What is going to take the biggest priority? What is going to be important to sort of how it goes with that, right? And then you have the Queen of Wands as well. The big thing about writing is just keep writing. I mean, just keep going, right? And I thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. But yeah, keep writing. Keep going. Keep writing. Worst case, you got to redo a couple of things, but just that active writing every day, sort of get into the routine, you know what I'm saying? You're one step at a time. You have to do things one step at a time and sort of work out the challenges and what have you as we sort of go along. So there we go. There we go. A couple of pieces of advice there. I don't know if any of them are any good. Misrak wants to have a chance of getting part-time job as soon. I really think, yeah. I really think, yeah. It's the first thing that came into my head was sort of getting a part-time job, hanging out, start typing away, making it happen, and all this other stuff. Let's see where this is going to go. Where this is going to go indeed. All right. I have a chance of getting this job. Let's use a little bit of Gustave Doré. If you want to know what it is, a lot of people do write at the end of the stream. They're like, what was that deck? At 4 minutes, 39 seconds. This is Gustave Doré. I'm sorry. Somebody said that don't pronounce Doré. Gustave Dor, I guess. I don't know. It's something like that. Someone came on here and corrected me. I think they meant it was Gustave Dor. There you go. All right, Ace of Pentacles here. Man, that is a definite yes. I mean, if you want a thumbs up, thumbs down. Ace of Pentacles gets you where you want to go. That's a nice thumbs up card for getting a new job. You know that is because you've read my book, of course, Misrak, Tarot Guidance. I talk about the difference between the Ace of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. You got to know the differences. So many people just pick these up. They're like, I think the Ace is a little bit like the Eight, isn't it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You need to read. You need to read the book. It's only $8. Link in the description. You need to read the book. It makes everything clear because I sort of establish what is the major differences between those three cards. You got an ace, 3, an 8, and a 10. As far as job readings go, how do I treat each one? What kind of things do they interact with? Where are we sort of going with this? Ace of Pentacles basically says, bottom line, yeah, you do have a good chance of getting a part-time job. And what do we see, right? Two of Wands. One of the jobs where we're always looking for the next big thing. We're trying to find where the next big opportunity is. I think once you get this part-time job more open up, more doors are opened up. You look out the window, you see more opportunities, kind of excited about it. I think that's going to be a very good thing for you. A King of Swords talks about just sort of making the connections at the jobs, you know, getting recommendations, getting some letters, sort of getting things out there. I think that's going to be important. But bottom line, it is a quick and easy yes. You do have a big chance of getting a part-time job, especially with that ace wandering around there and sort of peeking out and making its intentions known is what I'm talking about. Lani, thank you for your very generous donation. Of course, I appreciate you as always. All right, Lani wants to know, any advice how I can better the situation with this Gemini? That Gemini just keeps on irritating every day. Let's go. And let's find out. The little Buddhas are going to help us on this one. Little Buddha Tarot is going to help us work out all of the Gemini energy, because you just never know where those Geminis are going to take us. They could take us to a world of wild and wonderful places, or maybe quite the opposite. This one sounds like they're a little bit on the challenging side, but that is okay. By the way, in case you wonder what this deck It is the Little Buddha Tarot over there. So yeah, Little Buddha, limited edition Little Buddha Tarot is what I'm talking about. All sorts of good things over here. All right. Now, any advice about how to deal with this? What's going on? How can I get the situation under control? Because Gemini seems to, in previous readings, we've talked about this particular Gemini pressing your buttons. They know where the buttons are. They're going to press them. It seems like they do like to sort of make you a little bit miserable, and maybe they're sort of a miserable person in advance, or the High Priestess. It feels like that's sort of the case, right? The Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, got a Hermit and a Strength card. I think patience is going to be your best tool. If you're looking for a toolbox, what am I going to use? What's the best thing that I can do here? I really think patience is going to be the primary tool that you're going to use here, right? You do have the Strength card at the end, kind of the big resolution. What's the advice for how to proceed, where to go, what are we going to do? I really think the Strength card is going to be very powerful here. Just have to have patience. Take a deep breath. Don't act, just react on what you see. React on what is going to be the best situation that you're going to get out of it. And don't sort of fall into the traps. Because I think they have a lot of emotional traps that they're just sort of putting out there waiting for you to fall into, right? They have a lot of these emotional traps right here. The High Priestess. I know something you don't know. I'm going to use it against you. Again, I'm going to press your buttons. And they have a lot of knowledge about kind of who you are, what your buttons are, you know, where you're going, what kind of things you got going on. And I think they're just going to sort of use that to their advantage as far as this. So you got to be patient. Don't let them do that. Don't let them be as annoying as they want to be. The High Priestess. They know a lot about you, and I think that's going to be a disadvantage for you in here. Knight of Wands says, let them show their poker hand before you take any action. That's the biggest advice of the whole reading. A lot of people, they're just really fumbling around. They're not good at, you know, sort of intimidation. They're not good at manipulation. I kind of think that fits the Gemini. I think the Gemini is fairly decent at it, but they have a bad habit of showing their poker hand a little bit too early. You know what I mean? They got that poker face, or the lack of a poker face, where you can see kind of what they're doing. If you wait and you're patient, you know, you listen to what they say, and you can kind of see what the setup is, right? You know they're going to go long, you know they're going to go this and that, but you know the football play before it happens. Knight of Wands, let them set up their poker hand, watch what they're doing, and then react. One of the difficulties you're going to have is the minute you hear the first words come out, or the first idea come out, you're going to instantly sort of fill in the blanks and try to outguess them, and it's just not really going to work a lot of times because they're sort of one step ahead of you as well. And Queen of Wands, sort of handle things as they come. Don't try to predict, just react. Don't try to predict, just react. It's like stock market trading, right? A lot of times I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to do this and that. Don't try to predict. You need to react to what you see rather than trying to guess and take a good guess at things. I think that's going to be a big, big help here as well. You don't really want to try to predict, because then if you're wrong, your plans get shattered. Now you're back trying to figure things out on your feet. And, you know, you really don't want to be in that situation. The Hermit as well. Limiting our contact as best we can is going to be the best thing for us. You really don't have an abundance of contact with this individual. Just take a break, take a step back. You don't want to be all up in their face. You don't want to have a ton of contact. Limit our contact, limit our exposure. That's going to be the best thing. And of course, like I said at the very beginning, that Strength card is going to be your best friend. Your best friend in the whole world. Hopefully that resonated at least a little bit with the little Buddhas. The little Buddhas are speaking. The little Buddhas are speaking tonight. They have a lot to say, is what I'm talking about. So, big Buddha, little Buddha, they all got something good to say. Let's go. Speaking of good, let's go to the Tarot Tower over here. Look what we got. Got the me&H Tarot over here. This is what you want. That is what you want in life. That is what you want in life. It's some me&H Tarot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the Diablo Tarot is actually bigger than the me&H Tarot. I still need to unbox that. You know, I had a busy day. Like everybody, I knew it was going to be a crap day at work. Everybody and their dog, their mother and their mother's dog had something to ask me or get a favor from me or have me to do. So just like nonstop hectic stuff. Anyway, what does the boss think of the email? Will he say yes? The devil in the middle seems to be the common card tonight. Rose, you got victimized by. Sun says, yeah. Six of Cups says, yeah. At a minimum, I think they're willing to work with you on it, right? Whatever it is, they're going to work with you on it. Got a little bit of the thumbs up over here about how is this going to work? Will they say yes and whatnot? Really, really like it. Spiritualist, I like you too. Welcome. What's going on? Good to see you. But yeah, that Six of Cups. I'm willing to meet in the middle here. Willing to take this, willing to get this happening, willing to make this connection. I think that's going to be very important for us indeed. Got the Sun and the Devil. Now, you know because you read my book. You know because you read that book I just showed you a minute ago. The Sun illuminates the Devil. The Sun illuminates what they are doing, what actions that they have, what the master plan is over here. The Sun illuminates it and shows us what's going on. So I think they're going to be super easy to read. What they say is going to be legitimate. What they come back with is going to be okay. You're definitely going to have the truth because you're going to be able to see through any of the BS that they try to formulate for you. Overall, they're going to work with you on it. So I'm going to go with a yes right there. Even though we have the Devil card, right? Because I talk a lot in my book about the Sun, the power of the Sun. I think we need to do that in tomorrow's Behind the Readings on Patreon, a little private stream that we do on the Patreon. I think that's going to be a good thing. Let's get the Sun. Let's illuminate some cards and let's see how it affects the card, how the card changes because the Sun is around. I think that's going to be the important part. YouTube users got a triple shot tonight, burning up the credit card. All right, let's see what's going on. Work, financial stability next 6 months. Is it going to be real? Is it going to be good? How's it going to be with that? Let's see what's going on. Andrew, you know it's been like a year since we have used. We have not used this. Look at this. This we have not used in forever. I forgot even the name of this thing. This is that big, huge, massive deck. It looks really good. Spiritualist, thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Let me know what your question is. But yeah, this is the something runner, the net runner. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, it's a something runner card. Yeah, I forgot that. I think, Andrew, you said you played this game before or something like that. I did have the newer version of this board game. Oh man, I need to sell some board games. I forgot about that. I need so much crap I need to do in my life. All right, I need to sell some board games, but you know, that's it. Anyway, all right, let's see what's going on. My work, financial stability for the next 6 months. You do have a knot of coins. I really think your finances, your stability is going to be all right. It's going to be okay. There's nothing sort of challenging coming up. There's nothing really going to kind of work your nerves or what have you. I think everything is just going to be all right. Now, of course, you know, up at your job, what have you, the finances, the work and stuff, I really don't think you have major problems sitting there, but it does feel like the 10 of coins, right? That I have a happy home, happy family, but it's a little bit on that Queen of Batons, like I have to do too much. I have to compete with these other people. I have to do all these other things. I have to try this, I have to try that. A lot of times that's very difficult to do, and it sort of works your nerves up there. Awakening World also says that you have a lot of other places you'd rather be. We've applied at all these new things, and the Shadowrun Tarot, that's it. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You never played the board game, play the pen and paper role game. All right, yeah. The board game, here's the problem with the board game. You had to level up, like you had to level up in the board game. Normally, I don't mind that, but like you had to grind level up. I do not want to grind a board game, right? Reiki, I thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. But yeah, the Awakening World says you got more possibilities. You've already seen a peek of that, right? The sisters, workplace, job. You have other feelers out there trying to get a job, trying to get things happening with that. You are going to find a happy home, happy family. It's just a matter of finances are going to be just fine. Work is going to be just fine. You are going to see some of these opportunities, and I think that's going to be where you need to scan and go with, right? Scan and go with. You had to grind. Yeah, you had to grind the board game. I don't want to sit like, when I say grind, it means you have to attack like 700 monsters before you level up and what have you. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that in a board game. That is outside of my reality. So I ended up selling that thing, and I am happy that I sold that already. Anyway, YouTube user, what ends intentions with me is being really nice. That's nice, though. Come on. All right, let's get the Star Trek Tarot and see where that's going to be. Let's get the Star Trek Tarot and see where that's going to take us. Ian is being too nice. You've been waiting for this. Like the first reading you had was, what does Ian think about me? I remember that reading. The first reading, you're like, what does Ian think about? You've been thinking about Ian for years. All right. What Ian's intention was being too damn nice with that. The Wheel of Fortune. They're trying to get some stability where they don't got to work. Here's what I think is happening. I think because the relationship is new and it's fresh and it's kind of fun, you know what I'm saying? They got to work a little too hard because they know that they ended up just destroying it. They know they ended up hurting you and whatnot. The Ace of Coins. I need to build some stability here so that I have to work on this. Let me give you an example. It's like when you get a new job. You got to go in to the new job and you got to make a great first impression, right? Because you got, that first impression says a lot. So the new person, they work their butt off. They're nice. They're a great team player. You want to make that first impression. And that's a shitload of work. I'll be honest with you. And then after you sort of get your stability in there, you like calm it down. You're there. You do your work. You know what I'm saying? Mina, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us. But that Ace of Coins, they just want to build that stability where they don't got to work anymore like that, right? Wheel of Fortune, I just want to steady kind of think, get laid steady, get relaxed, hang out steady, have somebody to go and do stuff with it. A Wheel of Fortune is kind of interesting indeed, This is a Six of Cups as well. I just want somebody to be around, somebody to be there. So it's like, again, like the first time you go to the new job, they're trying to impress. They're trying to let you know they're serious. They're trying to let you know things are going to be awesome. And that's why they're being so nice right now. Will they be nice forever? No. But it's just like the new job. They got to make that good first impression. Reiki makes a great first impression being a member for 7 months. Thank you for the $7, Reiki. I greatly appreciate you. Plus tax, of course, because I don't know why. How does YouTube charge tax for something that doesn't exist? You know what I'm saying? Cinderella, thank you for your donation. For example, if I go and get a membership to somebody's channel, they charge me tax. That membership doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's like, okay, if you're going to charge me tax for the Pastel Kitty Tarot, I'll be like, okay, it exists. You had to, you're going to get charged sales tax from the state because you sold this to me and stuff like that. But a membership doesn't exist. It's not a thing. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's not a product. You're not going to get taxed on it. It's not a freaking product. So why do I got to pay why I got to pay sales tax for something that doesn't actually exist? That's what I think, I think another tea party is in store. I think another tea party is in store. If it doesn't exist, you should not be taxing me on it. Is what I'm saying. Anyway, come on. There we go. All right, solo trip, how will it go? You got Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Oh, well, let's see what's going to, you're paying for the service, but it doesn't exist. It doesn't, it's not something that exists. Anyway, I don't know. All right. It's not a service. They're not providing me a service. They're simply putting a flag in a database somewhere that says I can use some balloons or I can use some emotes as far as I'm saying, Anyway, all right, let's see what's going on. You booked the Vegas December. December's a good time to go. Let me tell you when not to go to Vegas, and that's July and August. You are going to burn. You are going to be on fire over there. It is going to feel like you are burning in Hades when you walk outside during August in Vegas. All right, just simple advice. Yvette, thank you for your very generous donation over PayPal. Appreciate you. Yvette, let me know what your question is. All right, a tax on service. It's not a service. It's a database flag. So if I'm providing a service, right, and I'm doing a tarot reading or something like that, and and that is a service, right? I'm providing you a service. I'm doing, and this is just a flag in a database. A flag in a database, right? It's a Boolean. It went from false to true that you can use these things. Nobody actually got up and gave a service and did something. Anyway, all right, booked to Vegas, December. Okay, December's perfect place to be. Perfect place to go. All right, how would it go? Ace of Pentacles, you spent too much money, which it's Vegas. You knew it was going to happen. I don't have to tell you that. You don't even need a tarot reading for that. You know you're going to spend too much money over there. Eight of Pentacles, it feels like there's too much to do. You want to do a lot of different money things. You want to have a lot of fun. You need to go to the M&M store. You need to go to all the casinos and do all of that stuff. Ace of Pentacles just said you go through a lot of money really quickly. So save those pennies. Save those pennies. But, yeah, see what's going on. Eight of Pentacles just says, yeah, this is some place where you're just going to go through the money like water. I mean, it's just going to flow out. It's just going to be gone within seconds. Just be prepared for that. Be prepared. You know what I'm saying? You go over there, you do a little roulette, you do a little craps table, what have you. And the Tower card says that there is some wild and wacky things that happen over there. I'm just saying, wild and wacky things that you're going to run into and what have you. So just be aware of that. Now, general advice for Vegas for you. Let me go with intuition only here. Number one, do not stay on the strip, right? If you can avoid staying on the strip, downtown is going to be a little better. Downtown is going to be a little better with that, in my personal opinion, right? I think downtown, as far as gambling, is going to get you a little more money, what have you. I do think you want to play the craps tables and the blackjack tables in downtown. It's going to be very nice for you indeed. I think you're going to make some money off of that. I would avoid any of the rides. I think it's going to be either freezing or miserable weather. Don't go on any of the outside rides. I really wouldn't recommend that. If you are going to drink and what have you, I'd recommend you drink later. The later, the better. Watch out for any any of the buffets, right? A breakfast buffet is your friend. The evening buffet, the dinner buffet is not your friend. I think you're actually going to get sick from one of the dinner buffets. So be careful with the buffets, dinner buffets. You're going to get sick. So there we go. That's pretty detailed action with that. Hopefully, you got a little warning, got a little action over there, what have you. And it's got a little action as well. What exactly should have said is G if he reaches out. If he's like, yo, what's going on? I mean, when you go on, by the way, we're going to go to the Tarot Tower and make that happen. What is this deck, you ask? Because everybody wants to know what this beautiful deck is. And luckily, I have the little booklet right here for you. Look at that Tarot Avatar. Look at the size of this book. Look at that book. This is the best deal ever. This is like, I mean, the Insomnia Tarot, I hardly ever use that. I hardly ever use that. But yeah, the real OC to Vegas is a dump. I live there and it is a dump. Of course it's a dump. It's got too many people there. You got to keep it clean. You got to keep it clean over there. That's why nobody stays in Vegas for longer than like 3 days. Like 3 days is your max time in Vegas. Like people, if you hear somebody like book like 2 weeks in Vegas, you need to say, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's the worst idea ever. Do not spend 2 weeks in Vegas. Like Paris? Yeah, you want to spend 2-3 weeks in Paris. You know what I'm saying? Vegas? 3-4 days max. I mean, you need to get out of there by day 4. You need to be on the way back. Anyway, it's a bomb crater, maybe. Cinderella, thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right, what's going on with G? Where's that say if they say that? Queen of Cups says you need to communicate emotionally. This is somebody that's not going to benefit from factual communication. Like, I like this and I like that. And I don't like this. I think of emotional resonance. Communicating emotionally is going to be your best buddy as far as G is concerned. I think they can handle it. I think they appreciate sort of the candor. They appreciate sort of where it's going. They know that you are sort of on a roll with some of this as well. Eight of Pentacles says, what can they do to make these things better, right? If there are some challenges, you need to just be upfront that I need something different. We're sort of having a challenge here and there. We need something sort of to be a little bit better. Eight of Pentacles says, what can they work on to make this a little bit better? And I mean, what can you work on to make it a little bit better too? What kind of things are there? What kind of things are sort of happening there where you can make a little bit of a tweak and what have you? A King of Wands, you got to let them be themselves. And I think that's going to be the most difficult part. Let them be themselves, because you do want them to be kind of this and that. A lot of times you're sort of excited about sort of certain parts of their personality, certain parts of the behavior, and other times you're not excited about about the rest of it. You got to kind of take the whole situation, the whole package, no pun intended. But yeah, that King of Wands just says, you know, just take them as they are. Understand that they're the way that they are, and there's not really any changing them as well. Three of Swords says, just don't expect everything to be absolutely perfect as far as what I'm going to say. To communicate emotionally, be aware that they're going to get maybe butthurt about one or two things. Don't let that bother you. It's better that you communicate what you need, how you want it. Communicate, you know, what's going on. Communicate your feels, and let them sort of react how they need to react with that. You kind of want to be your true self, right? You don't want to hold back and be somebody completely different, and then you get something going on, and then all of a sudden you're just your normal self, and they're like, wait a minute, this is not the self that I saw a minute ago. This ain't it. This is totally different. Yvette has a question. Thank you, Yvette, for your very generous donation over PayPal. I greatly appreciate you. All right, Yvette wants to know something. They want to know something, and for some reason, it's not appearing on my screen. There we go. What I need about a jewelry business. All right, Waterfall Tarot. We can do that indeed. Let's see what's going to happen here. All right, how do we spell this properly? Yvette. There we go. Yvette wants to know what I need to know about the jewelry business. By the way, if you don't have yourself a Waterfall Tarot, link in the description to pick one up. Let's see. Real Receipt has a lot to say about Vegas. Live there, it's a dump. I live there. See, yeah, you don't want to live there. You don't want to live in Vegas. You want to be far away from Vegas. You know, you get your 4 days in, you get the hell out. You go to the M&M store, you go to downtown, you win some money on the blackjack, you get some pizza, you get real drunk, you eat at a buffet, and then you get the hell out. All right, you see a show, you know, you see one of the magic shows, you ride the train has coupons for the magic shows, you grab one of those, you go see one, all of that other stuff. Muffy, what's going on? Good to see you. I skipped you. Did I skip you? Muffy, did I skip you? Let's look. I did not skip you, Muffy. I did not forget about you. Muffy, welcome to the stream, Muffy. Good to see you. Good to see you, Muffy. Did not forget about you. Let's check it out. We got Anne over here. We got Spiritualist. We got Reiki. And then we got Muffy. So Muffy, right now we're doing Yvette. Yvette is on PayPal, by the way. You got it, Muffy. You gotta merge in that PayPal. You know what I mean? You got to get that PayPal. You got to merge it in. So we did Anne. We're merging in the PayPal. We're sort of wedging that sumbitch right there. Wedging that in. Just in right there. Did you see that, Muffy? Did you see that action right there? Muffy, did you see that action right there? Just wedge that shit right in there. And okay, and we got the PayPal, wedge that shit in. We got Spiritualist after this wedge, and we got Reiki, and then we got Muffy. All right, Muffy, did you see that wedge action? I'm just saying, Muffy, hit that like and sub if you like that. Muffy, like that wedge action, Muffy. This place is on fire. Hit that like and hit that sub. Crystal's in pain. Welcome, good to see you. All right, Yvette. We're going to do what I need to know about the jewelry business. Ace of Wands says, keep going. I really think that you need to expand it a little bit. I think there are products that you've had ideas for. There's some exciting things that you've thought about, what have you. And I think you need to pursue all of that. This is one of the weird readings where I think you need to pursue everything. Because I think you have some damn good ideas. And like a lot of times, you're like, I don't have time for that. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. Worst case scenario, prototype something up and get it out there. Prototype it up, get it online, okay? And that is going to be like, oh, I need one of those. I've never seen one of those. That's a unique idea. Yvette is cranking out the ideas, and I think that's where you want to be with that. Ace of Wands, make that happen. King of Swords, you want more people. You want some court cards. A lot of people in here. You want people wearing it, right? People wearing it. What does it look like outside? What does it look like in the sun? Does it shine? Does it glimmer? What does it look like on this person and that person? Have some smile and people wearing the jewelry and whatnot. I think the more sort of model friends and family and maybe you modeling this stuff, I think the better off it is. It gives it that personality, right? People are excited. They're like, oh, that looks great. I think that would look perfect on me. I know this outfit over here. Put that necklace on there. Just nail it. Just nail it with that as well. Queen of Pentacles, be sure to charge what you need to charge with it. Don't get caught in a situation where you're undercharging for it and all of a sudden you get 700 orders and now that's all you do in your life and you're like, oh my God, I underpriced that. So price it as it needs to be priced, right? right? Very, very important, because you don't want to do is have something super cheap for $1 and then all of a sudden it's $5 the next day. Everybody's like, wait, so you don't want to do that. Nine of Cups, just have fun with it. Creativity and innovativeness is going to get you where you want to be a lot faster than just kind of going through the motions of making one of these, making one of that. What can you do that's totally unique, that brings me to your site? You know what I'm saying? That just brings me to your site with that. You look at this, for example, this person made this deck. They didn't just make this deck. They made bags, they made jewelry, they got them, their smiling face on there, holding the decks, wearing the outfits and what have you, the t-shirts. They made a whole ecosystem around this deck. And it was fun because I would go and open this website and all of a sudden I was in this ecosystem and I just wanted to buy. It really just sort of made me just like turn off the logical part of myself and just turn on that emotional self where, ooh, I'd love one of those. I could get one of these. And you know what I'm saying? You need that, right? Get that excitement, what have you. And the 5-1s, realize you do have a lot of competition because it is a jewelry business. So just be aware of that. Don't get down because there's a lot of people sort of lined up, a lot of people having similar jewelry, a lot of people that are in front of you on Etsy, what have you. Just don't get upset with that. Just keep on rolling and rocking with that. All right. Now we just wedged that over there. Now we have a spiritualist is the next. Spiritualist wants to know something. They're like just enjoying. Oh, okay. Spiritualist, thank you very much for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Apparently you don't have a question. Thank you so much. You are my hero. You're my hero. All right, spiritualists, thank you for supporting the stream with all of that stuff. We got Reiki. Now we got Muffy coming up on the side end over here. All right, Reiki wants to know general reading for November. Man, November is going to be kind of exciting for you, I gotta say now, like first thing with that, let's go over to the Tarot Tower. Let's grab us Art of Adventure Tarot, because adventure is all about what Reiki's gonna find in November. We are just started this month, and I think it's gonna be out of control. It is going to be out of control and kind of fun in that same element, right? Reiki, a little bit out of control, but fun at the same time. That's what you need. That is what everybody needs over here. Let's see where we're gonna be with this. Ace of Wands. Wow. Into the Sun, that 5. Well, that 5 is kind of interesting over there because there's a lot of crap going on. I really think November, especially third week of November, there's just too much crap going on. There's just too many things happening. There's just a lot of things going on, a lot of things moving, a lot of activities, a lot of expectations, a lot of things that need to be done, a lot of things that you wanted to get done, but you didn't get done, a lot of guilt that I didn't get some of this done. It really feels like it's a little too much, really too much, especially in the third week. Just be aware of that, right? Just be aware of that. You really don't want to be in that situation where you're just overwhelmed with that. All of this crap moving around here and there and everywhere. People want this, people want that. You got too much going on. Just don't get in that situation. It's going to give you a little bit of a Ten of Wands feel. Even though that ain't the Ten of Wands, it's going to give you one of those because that is a lot of crap going on there. And King of Swords, don't get bossed around. November is bossing Reiki around month. It really is. It feels like that somebody is sort of just focused on, telling you what to do or trying to get you to do something you don't want to do, or you sort of get backed into a situation where you're just like, how did I get in here in the first place, right? Bree, I thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. And thank you for your other donation, if I didn't already say so. But the King of Swords, don't get bossed around. Don't sort of get in that mode where you are sort of just doing what other people want. You kind of want to focus on you, what's important to you, where you want to be and what have you. The Sun, definitely November is about getting out of the house, right? November is about getting out. Who can we interact with? What kind of things can we do? I really think you need the vitamin D from the Sun coming through there, making it, right? Getting all this stuff going on, having a lot of fun. It is the adventure. It is not only the art of adventure, it's literally the art of adventure here. I think the Sun is getting out, getting stuff done, making yourself known, making yourself out there, putting it out there, seeing where it goes, because the Ace of Wands says, again, you got a lot of stuff going on. You're going to have to engage in a lot of this. Just make it happen. Just make it happen. Not a problem at all. All right. That's what I think. That's what I think with that. All right. Who else is next? Now, Muffy is finally here. Muffy waited like a year. Muffy's like, I go to these tarot channels. Here's Muffy. This is what Muffy's saying. Muffy's like, I go to these tarot channels and they got like 5 donations. No, Muffy, you're on the TarotOracle show now.
It's 6:30. Time for the Tarot Oracle.
Muffy, you're on the Tarot Oracle show. We're gonna get you the teddy bear tarot just for this special occasion, Muffy. Teddy bear tarot. We got a mascot over here, Teddy. Teddy's like, hi, Muffy. So we got the teddy bear tarot over here just for you. Now, see, Muffy, you've been to all those other channels where they got like 5 donations. Over here, we got 50 donations, Muffy. The 65 donations in one day is what happens. It's what happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? We had 55 donations the day before yesterday, so you never know. You never know, Muffy, what kind of adventure you're going to get yourself into. All right, Kay and I, welcome. Good to see you. How you doing tonight? All right, let's see. What does RJ feel about me? Does RJ like me at all? Does RJ not? Does RJ have the teddy bear feels of that? Oh, the fool. It's a nice one. Wheel of Fortune, Judgment. Lots and lots of majors tonight. Muffy, you got like 3 out of 4 majors. That is 75% majors over there. Let's see what's going on. RJ feels Wheel of Fortune into Judgment with the E. Hope you're happy. Queen of Cups. They are emotional about you. We see that very regularly here, right? Queen of Cups is water of water, Muffy. Is water of water. It is that feel where you have the sort of the water inside of the water side where, you know, you have the Queen of Cups over here. We're emotional about you, which is kind of what you want, right? You're asking how somebody feels about me. You kind of want them to be a little bit emotional. You don't want them to be like, oh, Muffy, yeah, whatever. You want them to be a little bit emotional. I think that's what they are, especially as the last card sort of gives us the summary, sort of gives us the plot twist, the ending. You do have that right. I think they are emotional about you. The Fool says, I'm ready to go on whatever adventure that you want to go on. It's almost like they're looking to you for leadership. They're looking to blend in with maybe what you're doing, how you're doing it, and you know what you're doing. And I think that's important here because a lot of times people are just sort of demanding, I need you to fit in with me. I need us to do this thing. I need us to do that thing. The Fool says, I'm ready to go on an adventure with you. And that sort of opens up as well, just that a little bit of that excitement too. Because if we're going on an adventure with somebody, we're willing to sort of, you know, navigate what they need, navigate where they want to go, and a lot of good things with that. Wheel of Fortune, they want to be around you pretty regularly. Wheel of Fortune is kind of not only the karma card, but it's also that card where what goes around comes around. I want to be on the regular around you. I want to be sort of with you, right? I want to be with you. I want to be around you pretty regularly, and that's where the Wheel of Fortune comes in. Very exciting. Judgment, the rebirth, the reincarnation. It feels like this is not your first interaction or your last. I do think that you do have a little bit of sort of a push and pull with this individual, right? Sort of this trot here, it come in, and then it leaves. We come in, we leave, we go in, we leave. It feels like you have a little push-pull situation with this individual. Just be aware of that, because a lot of times, you know, when they do a little push, you're like, oh my God, it's over. But you don't really, this is a judgment, rebirth, reincarnation. There is a second chance. There is a second try, especially with what goes around, comes around next to the judgment card. It means you could have some cycles in this relationship where it's off and on and off and on, what have you. Cinderella is always on. General reading for November and December. We can make this happen. We can make this happen. We have November, comma, and a December action over here. Star Trek Tarot. We can do that for the first one. Let's see what the original series has to say. What the original series has to say about all that stuff. Because you never know. We definitely ain't going to use the Star Trek Next Generation, the really crappy tarot. Really crappy tarot. We don't want the Next Generation Cinderella. You know that. You know that. We want the original series. By the way, this was featured on the news, and it is available to you to purchase right now if you want it, not sponsored. All right, so let's go to general reading for November. What kind of November action do we have here? The Way to Eden. Wow, nice pathway. Nice pathway. Wrestling Reeds is on the path. Welcome, Wrestling. Good to see you. But you have a nice pathway in here. The Fool, the Way to Eden. In this particular episode, we have people that are in search of literal Eden. They're in search of this beautiful tomorrow, this great place where everything is perfect, the great place where they can be themselves, party, and what have you. That is your November. That is your adventure that you're going to have here, because you are in that mode where you need something a little bit exciting, a little bit, you know, a little bit exhilarating. You need something beefy. You need something with some meat on it, like a Whataburger hamburger, right? The Way to Eden. That is kind of your November feel? Is this time for a new adventure? The Cage as well. Don't hold back anything. The Cage. We had this lady dressed in the green. She was just all wild and all wacky and stuff like that. You had Kirk making love to yet another alien girl. You know, you never know what Kirk was going to do with all of that stuff. But the Cage just sort of just said, yeah, let's be uninhibited. I think that's where your November needs to be. Your November needs to be. You have to be uninhibited. Is it because of the way of, you have two uninhibited cards here. Way of Eden, they're playing the music. They didn't give a crap about anything, right? They ended up eating the fruit on this planet, ended up dying. Don't do that. But, you know, you said you just got a little bit of that Cage. You got to get a little bit, be adventurous, be out there, and don't hold anything back in November as well. Everything is not as it seems, though, with this, right? You're looking at the Five of Coins. Everything is not as it seems. You do have a couple of pullbacks here to where you have to sort of reevaluate things going on, reevaluate what's happening, and a lot of things are not what they seem, and then until you get into it, you don't really see that happening, right? You have the Changeling over here with a Knight of Rods. Be careful of instructions. Be careful of guidance. Not every piece of guidance is going to be good for you. You do have this robot who had like this unlimited power, what have you, and Kirk ended up arguing with it. Funny, you can see the string hanging on it. It kind of wobbled because it's a 60s show, right? You know, like a Twilight Zone, right? Where you had the electric razor that was going up the stairs, and you could see the string dragging it up the stairs. Yeah, sometimes the 60s, you got to use your imagination and make like you didn't see all of the really bad special effects. And Cinderella, different love reading for December. A little bit of the Wizard's Tarot over here. We have two Wizard's Tarot. Which one? I assume this one? This one, right? The Wizard's Tarot? I assume that's the one that you want. The Little Wizard, if you would have said Little Wizards, I would assume the Little Wizards, but since you just said Wizards, we're going to go with that. Love Kirk in the Kirk banged so many female aliens. You have no idea. Maybe you got some diseases that you couldn't get until you went to other planets. You never know. RR, thank you for your donations. I appreciate that. By the way, we're ending soon. All good things must come to an end, and RR is going to be the end. RR is going to be the ending tonight. All right. General love reading for December. Now, Hanged Man. Love is not going to go the way that you want it to go. Love is going to go the way that it wants to go. That's very, very important right now for you. Love is going to go the way that it wants to go, and you're going to have to ride it like a roller coaster, no pun intended, right? Because the star says everything has been mapped out for you in December. Everything has been mapped out for you in January. You're just going to be in for the ride. It's going to be like, video poker. You're just kind of in for the ride. You just want to see where it goes and what have you. Speaking of Vegas, Star says it's all mapped out. It's all lined up for you. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it. That's kind of nice. It's kind of nice for love. I don't have to exert tons of effort. I don't have to do all of this work. I don't have to swipe left, right, upside down, and backwards. A Page of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles. Just be careful of anything you commit to in love. There are a couple of catfishes out there waiting for you. You gotta be careful as to what you commit to with that. A long distance relationship is really going to be your best friend. I'm going to be honest with you now. Long distance relationships, if you're looking for a new relationship, it's going to be your best friend with this. It feels like it has all the convenience that you need. It's got the level of seriousness without having sort of the intimidation, without somebody sort of hovering over you, what have you. It gives you the freedom with giving you the love at the same time. Hanged Man says, be ready to do relationships, to do things that we haven't done before, and sort of get on maybe a new adventure with that. Because the Hanged Man said, let's look at this a little bit differently than what we normally do. Because, sometimes you just got to treat it differently to make it work, right? Anyway, we got Ann over there. What is G's feelings towards me yesterday? Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. You got a little Misrak Tarot over here. You know the Misrak Tarot has version dose coming out with no borders. No borders. It is going to be exciting. By the way, as a card magician, the reason cards have borders is because when it gets damaged on the edge from shuffling and stuff like that, the borders protect the main art image on the inside. Just an FYI, the history of why cards have borders. So that's why cards have borders. Now, Tarot cards are a little bit different. They're not shuffled as thoroughly, as much, and as hard as regular cards are, right? So you do magic tricks, what have you, you're constantly, and I mean constantly shuffling cards. Cards without borders like the B decks and what have you just end up getting thrashed. So just be aware of that. All right. Sebnam, welcome. Good to see you. All right. What is G feelings towards me yesterday? 5 of Wands, a little bit mixed. I mean, they're not really committed to anything, not really sort of on the fence anymore. They're just sort of, not really doing a lot with that. The 5 of Wands, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, not really just sort of in one particular direction, a lot of confusion with that. The Moon says really as far as yesterday goes, they know that feelings are going to be more important later. This is not a time to get super serious with it, not a time to dedicate a lot of effort into the feelings for you. It's just something that they just didn't do, right? The Moon, let's wait a little bit. The Empress says that they're ready to sort of go the next mile. They're ready to go the next level. The Empress is nice, is at 3. New beginning. Let's approach things a little bit differently. Let's get a fresh perspective on it. And that's going to be where it is at indeed. So there you go. A little bit of the feels action happening with that. Bray is like, my mom's friend, give me a room to stay in. Oh, man, hope so. We can get some place to stay, some place to hang out with that. Traditional Manga Tarot is going to give us a place to stay. That is the deck. We're going to be using today. If I could find... I put the box over here. I didn't even have it ready. I have no idea where it is. Where the hell is it? There it is. Okay. The Traditional Manga Tarot. All right. What's going on? Well, mom's friend, give me a room to stay in. My first impression is yes. Like, that's my first impression out of the box. So we're going to see if the cards agree with that. 3 of Swords, a Chariot, the Page. The Chariot talks about moving in. Now, Bree, there's either an emotional or financial price to pay for this. The 3 of Swords, there's some level of upset, right? They're like, I don't want you moving in unless you do blah, 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 or whatever. 3 of Swords just says there's a price to pay for this. There is a price to pay for this, but do you get it? I mean, do you get it? We're going to go with this, right? We can go with a thumbs up on this because the Chariot talks about picking up your stuff, getting everything packed up, getting everything moving, and the moving aspect here. Now, I have the Chariot, the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, the 4 of Wands. All of these would have been a great yes for this, but the Chariot into the Page of Swords does say that this is interesting indeed. Again, I do think there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay, and they are going to make you pay it. But that wasn't your question. Will they let you get a room to stay? I think so. Indeed. All right. So that's just my impressions. With that. And RR making good impressions tonight with a double donation as a D feelings from me and a contact today or tomorrow. Let's see what's going on with that. RR, we have not used a thought for you in a long time. In fact, I don't think we've ever used a thought for you. Wednesday. Well, hello. You picked the perfect day to drop in, Wednesday. I mean, if you'd have dropped in tomorrow, it'd been kind of awkward. But today, Wednesday, I mean, this is your day. Everybody say hello to Wednesday. What a perfect name. What a perfect name to drop in here on a Wednesday. All right, let's see. These current feelings for me. Wow, not very good. Today's just not good. I think they had a rough day. They got a little bit of a rough day. Not exactly something that they're ready to go with. They have a little bit of that poison seed coming in through there. I mean, they're just not ready for a lot of emotion. A lot of things have been suppressed a little too much. A lot of things are not ready to be expressed with that. It feels like they're just give and give and give. They really don't get anything in return at this time. The 5 just says, screw it. You know what I mean? Screw it. Maybe it's not something I want to engage in. Maybe that's not something I want to do today. It seems to be one of those days where it's just going to be difficult to get in there and to make a good impression with that, right? All right, we got today or tomorrow for contact. Let's see what's going on with that. 2 cards, simple with a throwdown.
Time for a tarot throwdown.
2 card with a throwdown. Tonight is here. Tomorrow is over here. Wow, tomorrow wins by a mile. My friends. This is the key. Tomorrow, that is such an easy read, right? You got to look at me, just look at it. Just look at the card. and you'd be like, oh, yeah, it's tomorrow, right? Tonight just looks convoluted. Things are in the way. Things are shuffling through. There's not a clear pathway. It feels like it's sort of detracted from that, right? Maybe it's because that Five of Swords from the previous reading, Lord of Defeat, may be in our way, but that too. That Lord of Love talks about tomorrow being the best opportunity, guaranteed, no problem at all. And that is it for me. I thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate everybody's generous donations. We'll see you tomorrow.
Put up with changes. Come pick me up, cause I just wanna see the light. I wanna be weightless. Teach me to fly, I won't be coming down. Could somebody wake me up? I don't wanna be here and let the world pass me by. Yeah. I just see your face where